Things just got interesting, didn't they? Welcome back to another video, Blues. Stephen here. Just minutes after Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. A big twisty tale this Premier League season. It's very twisty, isn't it? Who saw that coming? Honestly, I really did feel that Liverpool were going to win today. I thought the narrative was laid out. I thought they were going to get an easy victory, given this Arsenal side had been so up and down, and given Klopp's doing his retirement thing and all that kind of stuff. I thought, honestly, this is going to play into their hands. It's going to just be the kind of game where Liverpool play reasonably average, Arsenal have the ball and they win it. But it's not happened, has it? It hasn't happened. I mean, if you don't know what I'm on about, I'll immediately, of course, go over to this is, of course, the narrative of the game right there. Let me just sort of kind of make that fit into the screen because it's a bit too big currently. But that is what happened there, man. Liverpool have been beaten deservedly by an Arsenal side who are absolutely on fire today. And a 3-1 victory. And once again, they deserve it. Look at the expected goals for Arsenal. 3.52, 0.41 for Liverpool. A free goal as well. Sorry. Liverpool got beat comfortably today, which of course leads me into this preview. You wonder why I'm talking about this, because we have to pay attention to the context of the game. This is the table right now. We're on 46 points. Arsenal 49, Liverpool 51, but we've got 2 games in hand on both of these sides. If we win tomorrow, we'll be level on points of Arsenal and have a chance to go ahead of Liverpool by winning our game in hand. It's a fantastic result for us. It really, really is. And I'm very, very happy about this. Absolutely buzzing about it because I want it to be in our hands. We don't have to worry about Anfield as much if it's in our hands. And this is the situation we've got now. If we can keep winning our games, given we've got players returning, we've got a City finally, hopefully getting back to their best, then you never know, do you? You never know. This could be our year yet again. And I would absolutely love to once again crash Arsenal's party, to once again give Klopp such a hard time. I think he's a fantastic manager. I've got so much respect for him, but do I want him to have the fairy tale ending? Absolutely not. I want him to be crying on the last day of the season. I want him to be suffering because that is what football does. Don't think anything bad to happen to him, no. But do I want him to be satisfied in terms of what he's done this season? No, of course not. I want City to win everything. So this is what I want, and fingers crossed we can do that. The narrative now, well, yep, once again, it's back in our hands. It absolutely is. So I'm very, very happy about it, and absolutely am. Hello to everyone in the chat, by the way, to Onami, to Brandon, to Rene, to Osmodeus, to Stephen, to Masoom, to Herbal, to Mo, all absolute legends. If you are watching live or afterwards, please do me a massive favour and give this video a big old like. 1 like for every point Manchester City will get. Go on, go for it. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it as well. The hunt absolutely is on. Sharif in the chat, you're right, mate. The chase is truly on now. It is. And the thing is, I think we talked an awful lot about how everyone had this chance to extend their lead and get far out in front when we had no De Bruyne and Haaland was out for ages and Stones was, and we missed Rodri for a bit, but they were still only got 2 points ahead of us. Like, what were they playing at? They had a chance to make a statement. They had a chance to really pull ahead, but they couldn't do it. And now Kevin De Bruyne is back, Now Erling Haaland's back, and everyone's back in training. I'll get onto that in a bit, but this leaves us in such a good position. We cannot underestimate the context of this game. And we talk about Liverpool here. Look, I did tweet jokingly saying, mainly because I was also sort of trying to wind people up. I'm not going to lie. I was sort of trolling a little bit. But I did say on Twitter, if you wanted to, you could argue a narrative that Jurgen Klopp announcing his departure so early on could have added unnecessary pressure on his Liverpool side. You could add that narrative. For what it's worth, I'm being sort of facetious there and probably being argumentative. I don't really think he had much choice. And a Liverpool fan replied to me saying, look, it would have got leaked. He got no choice, really. And I sort of agree. I sort of do agree. Like, it would have got leaked. But at the same time, the narrative is the narrative. You could say it could have affected Liverpool's chances. The pressure, it could be unsustainable to give him this perfect farewell. The narrative is there, and you can't ignore the narrative. The narrative is important in football. It could be nonsense. It could be like Liverpool, this is the reason he's going in the first place. Arsenal just better. Liverpool, as good as they have been. By the way, I'm glad that Liverpool have lost now and got an actual defeat out of the way, because I did not want them to go unbeaten or whatever and have the Spurs game as their only loss, because that would have been just horrific, because they would have been like, we should have been unbeaten, but the Spurs game, blah, 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 blah. Who are they blaming for this one, by the way? Let's see what Klopp says. Is it Turney's fault or whatever? No, they were categorically, comprehensively beaten today is the word I was looking for. So he's very interested. It's very interesting, and I'm a very, very happy man. Liverpool, okay, they did have some players missing. They did, but it's not like they were missing. They were on the bench, Okay, they had Robertson, Nunez on the bench. Obviously, of course, Salah wasn't there. But they still had a really good squad. A really good squad. And Nunez was there by choice, Robertson coming back. Look, I don't really care. They drop points. We drop points with players missing as well. Klopp will say it's 2-1. You probably will, mate. You probably will. I'm very happy about it. It's City's fault for playing Monday night. Probably is Jimmy Graham, but probably is, mate. Absolutely. Look, for me right now, it's undeniable that we're in a really good position. We just are. Arsenal, of course, will feel very good. But I'm not scared of Arsenal. Maybe I'm wrong to not be scared of Arsenal. This is a big result for Arsenal, don't get me wrong. This is absolutely a game-changing result for Arsenal, potentially. They'll feel so up for this. They needed this probably shot of adrenaline, because they're only 2 points off the top now, and they've been good. But the story has switched to Man City, and it has switched to Liverpool. And they probably needed this. They probably did need it to get going again, and they were. I didn't watch the game, I'll be honest, but I've read about the games online and so on, and I've seen what people have been saying. And it looks like they absolutely deserved it. It looks like they did. So I don't really think like we can underestimate what this could do for them. I think it's a really big deal for Arsenal. So fair play to them, absolutely fair play to them. Which of course leads me to Man City. For us now, it's one of those things. Both the games in hand with Brentford. Is that right? Brentford game in hand twice. You look at our fixtures coming up. If we go to the Premier League, where are we at? Standings. Look at what we've got. We've got Brentford here, of course, on Monday. Then on Saturday, we've got Everton. Let me check Liverpool's fixtures. But Liverpool play their matches. They play Burnley. Yeah, so they play Burnley at 3 o'clock afterwards on the Saturday. Arsenal's fixtures, they play on the Sunday. So we could be top of the Premier League table by 2:30 on Saturday. We could be top there on merit by 2:30. Of course, they'll play again and the game will time to kick in. But we could be top by 2:30. All we got to do is, it's not easy. We've got to beat Brentford and Everton, but we could be top of the league, which could be absolutely wonderful. It could be wonderful for us. Look, let's get on to the actual Manchester City angle. Let's get on to the City angle and talk about that, because I don't think we can ignore, this game a little bit. The reason I'm confident is because we've been slowly getting into form. Not quietly, but at the same time quietly. Everyone knows what's going on. You look at our results. 3-1 against Burnley at home. The 1-0 win away at Spurs in the FA Cup was massive. Just the FA Cup, I know, but it was massive. Newcastle, 3-2 away. Huddersfield, 5-0. Sheffield United, 2-0. Everton, 3-1 away. Fluminense, 4-0. You are Reds, 3-0. Of course, there was a draw there. But then a couple more victories before that. But we've won. How many is it? 8 on the spin now? I think we've won 8 on the spin in all competitions. I know some of them weren't the highest of quality games, but this team is really, really starting to go through the gears now. We're starting to see the depth. When we look at the Burnley game once again, the team that we put out there was a strong team. Stones, Ake, Viosco, Rico, Rodri, Nunes, Foden, De Bruyne, Doku, Alvarez. Then you look at the bench as well. Haaland, Grealish, Gomez, Kovacic, Ortega, Diaz, Walker, Bob, Bernardo Silva. Kanji's back in training now as well. So you've got a whole team available. I'll get onto that later in more detail. But everyone's available. And the reason I feel confident is because, when you've got the squad that we've got, but so many players are starting to find their form as well. We've got a run of games. You look at the games that we've got coming up. Okay. There's some difficult ones there, but they feel winnable. Brentford away is tough. Everton at home, you've got to fancy your chance. Brentford away we'll get on to how tough it is, but we should win that. They're 15th in the league for a reason. I'm not saying we will do, but we'll get onto them in a little bit more detail in a minute. But you think that's winnable? Everton at home? Look, Chelsea at home. Given what Chelsea are, I know Chelsea were good against us last time, but we're a better side than last time we played Chelsea. I suspect we should beat Chelsea at home. Brentford at home. We should beat Brentford at home. Bournemouth away, you think so? Man United at home, you should think so. Then, of course, you got Liverpool away there. But we've got loads of games before that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 league games. I honestly would not be surprised if you get 5 or 6 wins out of 6 there. It's not going to be easy, but that's what I look at. And I feel like this is very, very possible because the run is favourable. It's very favourable. And at that point, if we win 5 out of those 6 and maybe get a draw, we are going to be clear by 3 or 4 points. We are going to be clear by 3 or 4 points. No, I'm not about Brentford, mate. Not Everton, pal. I said Brentford. So you misheard me there, mate. Brentford didn't have points deductions. Brentford are 15th. Look, so there we go. That's what I was on about. Brentford 15th. But in general, I look at the run and it seems favourable. We've got everyone coming back into the team, and things look pretty good. It looked pretty good. Let's get on to this actual game then. Let's get on to this game. Guardiola said, and this is the press conference quotes here, he said about Brentford, said, we know in the past how difficult it has been. We lost the 2 games. Last season we played against them. I have a lot of admiration for Thomas Frank. Yeah, absolutely. Look, when you look at Brentford at the moment, let's go to Brentford briefly and we'll go back to Man City. Brentford's results have not been good recently. They are 15th in the table. They did lose, of course, to Spurs 3-2. They did beat Forest 3-2. But then they lost to Wolves 3-2. 3-2 is the score of Brentford right now. They drew against Wolves in the Cup, but they lost to Palace 3-1. They lost to Wolves 4-1. Villa 2-1. Sheffield United beaten 1-0. Brighton beaten 2-1. Brentford did beat Luton 3-1, but largely they've been losing an awful lot of games. They really have. They've been shipping goals left, right, and centre right now. Of course, Tony's back and he's scoring, but they are in a pretty poor run of form. It isn't looking good. Like we look at the Palace game when they beat them, they deservedly beat them. Remember that. Ola saying it as obviously wonderful, but this isn't a team that's absolutely firing. They are still obviously a very serious team. You got to take them seriously. Look how they played against Spurs. You should give us some indicator of how they're going to play. And they're still playing that sort of same system that you associate with Brentford. Is an aggressive, hard-working, free at the back, wing-back situation. Obviously, Ivan Toney's back, and he'll be great against us, Ivan Toney. I'm almost certain Ivan Toney will step up because he'll love a game of this magnitude. And I do think they are a good side. They are a good side, even if they're not playing that well right now. They are missing a couple of players, I think. They've signed Sergio Reguilon, haven't they? They've got... The thing is, what they've currently got missing is their fullbacks, Aaron Hickey and Rico Henry, who are good players. They've also missing right now Brian Mbeumo. Mbeumo is a really quality player, isn't he? He's one of the best players. Also they've got a couple of players at the AFCON. You got Vissa at the AFCON and on Yeka as well. So they've got a few players missing right now. Of course, they'll have Mopai and Tony up front, which is obviously a good side. And they've got some quality players like Norgard and Jensen and so on. Pinnock's a good player and Ben Mee. But they aren't at their strongest right now. They really aren't. A couple of fullbacks missing, a couple of key forwards and so on. It is a few notable misses for them. Thank you for the super chat from Mohammed. He says, our defence needs to be solid tomorrow. Thank you so much, mate. Absolutely, absolutely has to be solid, mate. I absolutely agree because, of course, we're conceding the odd chance here and there, which we need to be better than that. We need to be better. We're still conceding the odd soft goal. I do think with Ruben Diaz, of course, hopefully starting tomorrow, we should see a slightly different story there. But you're right, mate. Absolutely spot on. Thank you for the super chat, as always. It does mean the world to me. Mohammed, you're a legend, mate. So this is their form right now, and it isn't looking good. A few players, of course, missing. But they are a good side, and they would expect a little bit more. Going back into Guardiola's quotes, he said, everybody's fit. Everybody is ready. We finally got it. We've got a full squad. Absolutely everything around, man. Everything around. Everyone's available. It's great. And Guardiola confirmed Haaland is ready to start for Man City, says Pep Guardiola. Lovely stuff. Absolutely lovely stuff, what more could we possibly ask for? Haaland's available to start. Everyone is fit. Look, we've been waiting for everyone to get back for some time, but we've finally got to the situation now where everyone is available. And that's going to make surely such a big difference to, what we could potentially do. The options are good. They're good. Guardiola also said about Haaland, he was rubbishing the reports from Madrid. He said, we'd have the feeling he's unhappy. Maybe the media in Spain, especially Madrid, has more information. As sardonic as usual there from Guardiola. I love it. He talked about Haaland a little bit more. He said in the 25 minutes he played against Burnley, all the players were looking for him, which shows how important he is. Yeah, I was at the Burnley game, and of course, they were going for him aggressively. They absolutely were. I quite enjoyed as well, how much they wanted to get the ball to Haaland. He was a bit rusty, but it was a good sign. Guardiola also, I talked about Tony, said, I'm glad he's back. He's exceptional. I hope what's gone is gone. The way he plays is not just as a big striker. When he drops 5 metres, it's a false 9. Brentford are strong at set pieces, and we have to adapt, indeed. I think there's more from the press conference later on. Let me find it. Where are we at? What are you saying, Pep? What are you saying? I can't see anything else, actually. No, I don't think I can't see anything else, which sort of does lead me to the team bit, you know? Mark saying we'll win the rest. Mark, my man. Hopefully you're right. So when you look at how we played the other day, let me go back to the Burnley game. The Burnley game, of course, this is how we got on in terms of the lineup. There's a few players on the bench. We had Ederson, Rico Lewis, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Josko Vardiol, Rodri, Nunes, Phil Foden, De Bruyne, Doku, Alvarez. Nunes had a good game, of course. John Stones back in the team. Rico Lewis got a run out. You know, we had the likes of Haaland on the bench. We had Kovacic, who's been really good recently. Jack Grealish. We had quite a few good players missing out. Diaz, Kyle Walker. I suspect we'll see some come back into the team immediately. Ederson is going to be the man between the sticks. Just drop the mouse. Need that mouse 1 sec. The wife's going to hate me for that because she's trying to get Ruben to sleep right now. Ederson is going to be the man between the sticks. I'm going to keep my voice down a tiny bit because my son is trying to sleep downstairs. Ederson between the sticks here. I do think Josko is going to play again on the left. I think it's going to be Ake and Diaz. I think it's going to go Ake and Diaz again because I think Stones, he won't want to play him back-to-back games. I just can't see it personally. I do reckon we're going to see Kyle Walker at right back again as well. Does anyone else think Stones will get rested? I think he'll get rested. I honestly think he will do. Now, I do wonder how we're going to do this because you think someone's going to miss out here. Haaland is absolutely going to start, in my personal opinion. I think Stones will get rested. I think Haaland will actually start. I think he's going to go for Jack Grealish. I think Grealish will get a start on the left. Away at Brentford, I don't think he's going to play Doku. I don't think he will do. So I reckon Grealish is going to start. De Bruyne is going to start, absolutely. And who else do you fit around that? How does Bernardo Silva not start this game? Rodri's going to start. And now you've got a situation where Alvarez will be on the bench, I reckon. But then you've got to choose between Silva, Kovacic and Foden. I've got a feeling Foden's going to be on the bench for this game, which is an incredibly, incredibly unpopular opinion. But does anyone else share that thought? I've got a really bad feeling Foden's going to be on the bench. I think Foden is rested, and it's going to be a meltdown. I think Kovacic is going to play. I think Kovacic has been excellent recently, and his tenacity away, you know, I think it's going to be something like this. This is my gut instinct. I feel so bad saying this out loud, but I feel like, look, Silva was rested previously. And I think Kovacic has just been so excellent recently. I think away from home, I don't think he'll play Nunes. Nunes would be great on the break, but I think Kovacic is very good on the break as well, while also adding a little bit more of a stability, I would say. I think Kovacic is very good at breaking the lines. Rodri to be benched. Michael, come on, mate. But I think, Rodri, I think Nunes is great going forward. Give up, Nico. I know you don't like Kovacic, but he was the best player on the pitch against Spurs. Kovacic has been great recently. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind he's been fantastic. So I think he'll be bringing back into the team. He absolutely will do. So I think it could be KDB and Bernardo. Yeah, you could be right. I mean, it could be this that we do. Silva goes here. It could be Foden out there. You know, it could be that. It could be something like this. Start with the agendas, people. So I reckon it could be something like this. It could be like that, but I think Kovacic is going to play. It'll be something like that. I don't know. It's very hard to predict. I'm pretty relaxed and I'm pretty confident about it. To me, I think the City side, we've got options tomorrow to play in many different ways. You know, Brentford are going to be aggressive. They're going to be solid. They're going to try and hit Mopai's pace off Tony. Tony, of course, he's just clinical. He will take his chances. They'll try and hit the wings. They play a really, aggressive, solid, hard-working game. You've got to admire Thomas Frank's sides. They're so aggressive. The thing is, for me, is that this City side, they're cooking right now. Hit De Bruyne, hit Haaland, you should score goals. I feel sorry for Alvarez being on the bench, but Haaland is going to start. We're a better side with Haaland because Haaland absolutely makes up space for everyone else. So I think the City are going to look at the result and the narrative. You know, Arsenal beating Liverpool today. It's going to be absolutely firing Manchester City up. They could be top of the table by 3 o'clock on Saturday. And I think they're going to take that, that chance and do it. I really do believe that. So I think they're going to go, all right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say a pretty good City performance tomorrow. I'm going to say a 3-0 win, actually. I feel like City's going to be really aggressive, really impressive. And I'm going to say that for the victory. I hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right. For now, though, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know, of course, what you make down in the comments. Do please give this video a like and subscribe. And, of course, let me know your predictions, your lineups, all that usual stuff. And sure, someone will be right in the chat. And I'll come find him after the game's finished tomorrow. I will be doing a watch one, of course, as well. Up the Blues. Liverpool dropping points. It's very fun. In a bit, come on, you Blues. Bye-bye. Good night.